Парам-парам, парам-парам. Эй, здравия всем. Позже сегодня начинаю. И, скорее всего, стрим короче будет, чем обычно. Но, надеюсь, у всех все хорошо. А я продолжаю играть в финалочку. Да. В прошлый раз мы остановились на том, что... Он Дэниел доложил Минусу о произошедшем, о том, что мы поломали ему одну башню из 1000. Плюс у нас теперь есть запас чешуи, который защищает от порабощения людей. И, возможно, мы займемся чем-то другим. Итого у нас сейчас... у нас это... Science of the Seventh Dawn. У нас сейчас два пути. Мы либо можем пойти крушить башни, либо же мы можем пойти на пролом в самое сердце Империи. И, судя по словам Дэниеля, нам выгоднее было бы пойти в самое сердце Империи. Они этого не хотят. Стоп, не сюда. О! Здравствуйте. I hope you didn't mind us bashing into your room for our late night feast. What's such worth? It did me a world of good to put our troubles to one side, if only for a moment. Да, хорошо отдохнули. Плюс бургеры. Новая ружка. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope. I was about to make my way to the studio, as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with this scholar Monty Chain, это который за нас вступился, своего рода. Он за нас вступился, сохраняя нейтралитет. Кто-то там выбежал. And thank him for coming to our rescue in Bostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us, following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed to Thavnair. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for you, Stolle and the others, I thought now is the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Okay, pogнали. Then it is settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alfino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead with the pandemonium. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studio for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Okay. Окей, значит мы вчетвером пойдем. Вова играха. Unlike some of the science, I am not an alumni of the studium. As such, I have no acquaintances there I am obliged to visit. And while I would love nothing more than to pove over the many great tomes in Phenomenon, I fear my presence there would stir up more unwanted trouble, so for now, I'll be patient, much as it pains me to do so. Тренируйся. If father can master these fiendish contraptions, then so can I. Heading out for a stroll, своего рода. Моем с дылдой ушастой говорить. The scholar himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I do am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the stadium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alfin of all people worrying over his reputation. And at our alma mater, no less. Will wonder never cease. Will wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Не надо. О чем твой? Даже можно телепортнуться, да? Да. Зачем гулять, когда можно телепортироваться? Смею предположить, люди, которые способны использовать эфиритовую сеть для перемещения, они в среднем более полные, чем остальные люди. It was like only yesterday that I first walked through these doors. See that sculpted picture above the entrance? That's the mark of the Thaliac, the scholar, bearer of the waters of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that Charlian itself is one enormous shrine to him, and that's especially noticeable here in Studium. Huh? В смысле, про вазу? Okay. Блин. Here it is. Phenomenon. Well, I expect you made a note of it before. One can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? Ah. Well, most of the space is taken up by the expensive auditoriums. It also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices, and so forth. Крайне многофункциональное здание. Круто. At the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of meteorological phenomena, hence the name. Though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope is expanded to include every conceivable facet of life, and even the universe itself. Почему мы не отправляемся в библиотеку? Да. Нам там не рады будут. Нам нужно искать книжки, поэтому, которые могут упоминать этот другой тип энергии, про который нам слониха сказала. Я не помню, как это называется. Анатра. Не Ананта. Ананта — это змеюки. Допустим, Анатра. Then, in a 432nd year of the Sixth Umbral Era, phenomenon was declared complete and the stadium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority on astrology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Charlian's foremost educational institute. Класс. Прям рекламу нам устроил. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed. I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same fopping speech, such as his undying love for this old something ground. He was in top form back then. Youngest to enter the studium. Graduated with highest honors in the magical arts and astrology. Undisputed champion of debating chambers. Hold on. You both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prejudiced scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alfino actually entered half a year before me. Nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors. And I'm certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects here, I ever been in his shadow. Oh, if nothing else, just remember that this was where he learned the legend of Alfino Livlia began. We should expect everything to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student's body has for Alfino. And with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Если, конечно, ничего не изменилось. А все могло измениться. О, вот так вот. Well, there is no time like present. First, let's look for the scholar Montenay. At the facility, tend to frequent their offices. At the faculty, tend to frequent their offices. But unfortunately for us, he is fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they seen him. Сейчас, бац, мы станем более популярным, чем Альфино. Затмим его славу. Было бы вообще-то шикарно. Местечко. Кстати, чем там мои сестры занимаются? Привет. Комплит. Иди обратно. Молодец. Лучше другой. Молодец. Комплит. Иди обратно. Yes. Это тебе все скинуть? И все? Больше у меня для тебя ничего нет? Есть. И это тебе? Я ж тебе всякие... Да, я тебе украшения настольные скидываю. Сколько денег. Маленькая, правда, пока что. Очень маленькая. Окей. Бывай. Скрип Exchange. Неважно. Что происходит? That was Alfino Livlia, wasn't it? The Alfino Livlia. And he's with sister and Master Baldesin's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Я вообще-то с ними. Oh, sorry. Said you're looking for a scholar, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere. But Mr. Aleppo should have a better idea. Aleppo. Почему это знакомое имя? Aleppo. А Хлоя и Злоя, они случайно не Алеппо? Ну-ка. deliveries. Yes! Йоу, я знаю твою сестру. Твоих сестер. Возможно. Обе... Вы все три коти. И у вас одинаковая фамилия. Здравствуй. Are you lost? Wandering off the street, perhaps. Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee leader, fresh of the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. And orientation... Yeah, orientation is in order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Sorcerer's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books! And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal in here at Sorcerer's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, then we send the leaders off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. I of the said is telling you off. You can told that. It's enough to make your hair stand out on end, which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. As our newest leader, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. The only thing I'm interested in gleaning in is information on the scholars' whereabouts. I've tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. So what you're telling me is not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for a scholar. I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock. But I can... Oh, you mean him? He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. Said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts. Home to many rare and expensive curios. Not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood's curling screams. Slowly. In the time it's taken me to tell you all of that, the scholar has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Я практически уверен, что они родственники. Finding over the gleaner is proving tougher than I thought. Maybe I'm not suited for this line of work. Aww. Hui. Tlakatia. Maintenance. No beaches. Oh, Alizé. Вообще с этой стороны. Things were bad enough during our school days, and Alfino's time abroad has only heightened his fame. Oh, should it be infamy? Ha. He had his rivals and detractors, of course, though most of them have gave that up after his adoring fans left upon them like ravenous dogs. Alfino, on the other hand, never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. Он очень эгоистичным был челом. He actually spoke to me. I assure you, I'll tell you all about it after my business with this clerk has concluded. The clerk, tell me, my good fellow, does this have something to do with the saving of the world from catastrophe? Might we turn our attention to Master level your graduation thesis? I too have my doubts regarding our policy of non-intervention. It is true that your experiences overseas the reason you have included the ire of the forum. Oh, what I would have give to see you butt heads with those old gorgers. У него куча фанатов. Лаборатории. Вообще никого нету. Yes, the scholar was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I didn't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps one of the auditoriums. Эти голые стены. Привет, ты с что связан? If my friend doesn't turn up, we'll be late for the lecture. It have been here 2 bells only. If I were one of Professor Mikoto's class. Нет, стоп. Okay. Довольно-таки маленькие у них аудитории, но ладно. Здравствуй, дед, мы тебя нашли.
I remember you.
А я помню тебя. Такую рожу сложно забыть. Такую старую и сморщенную.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisois in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you.
Мы не упустили тебя.
I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
О, хорошо.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Ничего.
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried.
Да, они не могут сказать.
Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
Yep.
How is
Как
that
я и
even
думал.
possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
А он сейчас объяснит, как эта магия замолкания работает. Да? Это, блин, нас учат.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology.
Окей.
The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Кристалл. Magic! Corporeal Ether. Кристалл. Исторический эфир.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
Sounds Umbral Calamity. Когда всем стерла память о...
The seventh umbral calamity.
Да, когда всем стерла память.
The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Я об этом давно не вспоминал. Почему?
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Charlene prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty, are they subjected to the process? A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea.
Однако, они не планируют скоро закончить это.
For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
Да, есть такое. Воспоминания о последних днях.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents.
Я думаю, второе более вероятно.
I consider each equally probable.
Я думаю, второе более вероятно. Просто из-за факта существования нас. Потому что мы целый осколок. Асина.
Well, I think that's enough education for today. Now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Правда?
Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits.
Мы с ней уже болтали, она классная.
May take you.
Чего внезапно злодейский смех? Оружка. Мне интересно. You have been granted the run of Phenomenon. If your game... Oh. Oh. A faculty. Как понимаю, все дисайплы руки и земли. Some of my earliest memories are this choleric Mudke actually. He was a close friend of our grandfather. He would come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with a paper and ink. He's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the studium in the first place. Old Choleric Montico is best known for his role as head of the studium. He is said to be one of the finest mages Sharlayan has ever produced. Having seen for him myself, the ease with which he weaved extraordinary, complex and powerful magics. I have no reason to doubt his claim. The capital idea. Well, it has given me much to mull over. I feel as though we are one step closer to understanding the forum's true motives and mysteries of a life itself, a good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the Onyx. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with the Kui Alepo and the scholar suggestion, as the scholar suggested, while I share our audience with Raha. Сейчас посмотрим, для кого она задание выдает. Disciple of Land. У меня есть вообще 80-го? Нет. 10-го. Туда? Эти снарягу еще не продают. Полетели обратно в нашу штаб-квартиру. Justinian! It seems I've done an adequate job of relaying Scholar Mudkin's lecture to Raha, given his experience in the field of soul and memories. He had no trouble understanding it. You'd better not let your guard down around one small favor becomes another and another, and before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some other rubbish. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace for your usual heroics. And as the scholar said, it could also lead to interesting discoveries. Having spent most of my time in Thavnair, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land here in Charlian. Even finding my way to the Annex proved a challenge. Сомневаюсь. Justinian returned not long ago after we departed the stadium. A shame that he missed this chance to attend our lecture to the scholar. Or perhaps not. Raha. Welcome back. From what I've heard, your trip to the stadium was most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow science. As expected, news of the Warden Scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked me that we bring the scales in our possession to Lim-Salaminsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan. But let us see what awaits us in the Vilbrund. Let's start by getting the skills out of storage. Give me a hand with you. Would you, Destinian? Будет таскать коробки для нас. Дестinian. Наш грузчик. Его сколько их сделали? Ooh, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Ritter and the alchemists of the Great Work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales. So you must treat them with an utmost care. I'm not coming with us. As much as I would like to escape the forum's watchful gaze, I have a little choice but to stay behind. We're already on the thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, are found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, I can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here, and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers, as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. Тулим соломинца. Woo! Чисто технически Лимса не так уж далеко. Но она ближе, чем основной континент. If you learn out of interest, be sure to let me know. In the meantime, I will do what I can to aid our cause. Though I fear that would be precious little given the circumstances. Посмотрим, сколько телепортация стоит. Да, мне сразу вспомнил все. 300, окей. Okay. О, народу здесь. Туда. Мунамуни. О, 21. I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Tsir and the Sultana. Ooh. You have the most powerful woman in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare? Or shall I show you to them? Погнали. Давно мы здесь не были. My apologies for calling you away from Charlene at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It is only right that this discussion be conducted in person. While locked in a war of attrition, our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But may I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the awarding skills and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. Despite the time in Shaolin, the allied nations have been engaged on during the time on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge of abductions of kobolds, Sahagin, Exile, and Ananta have given rise to an increasing number of brambles as well. But your triumph and Razatan has given us cause for hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it is you, the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, Minuto. Парам. Вот и пора заканчивать. Ладно, сейчас с ними договорим и пойдем. And it is you, the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophoroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike the enemy's heart, Garlemald. Their brave few will be the Elzebar's contingent. Yep. I think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of the Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, rebels of robbed of their free will. They serve the Telefroi every wing without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the delicate decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive them and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality. Without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye. In that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Tancred and Orianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, the reason to believe that the smaller spires are merely precursors of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zod was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway. Though the same could be said of the Telefroi. They are certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager that the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Ishtal's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based in their observations inside the Tower of Zod, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than it requires for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It would surprise me in the least. It would surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's all logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. Звучит как план. That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. Want you and your scales to join the Ilsebard contingent? Consideration of official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. They accept. Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Okay. For honor and glory of the people of Garlemald. For honor and glory. Couldn't have put it better myself. Ishtal, Tancred and Orianger have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive that you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the Warden scales to Alaminga, the contingent will embark on a journey to Elzebad. Rauban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourself known upon arrival. Like warm clothes, furs and like that. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telefroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. they're not the only ones who can create a diversion. There we go. Safe in knowledge, in the knowledge yours there will be as you left it, or better, upon your arrival. Okay. Не, стоп. Миган Quarters. Как же хорошо здесь можно летать по городу. Я очень надеюсь, они обновят старые города, объединят их в одну большую локацию и дадут возможность летать в них. Было бы классно. Окей, что ж. Сегодня закончу намного раньше, чем планировал. Да и... Так уж... Что уж поделать. Ничего поделать нельзя. Поэтому спасибо всем, кто знал. Значит, до встречи в следующий раз. Пока.